Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me here today. We are transitioning into winter. By the time you see this video, it's probably going to be a little frosty outside, a little bit chillier, and I'm going to try to give us some tips to transition more easily into that season. So let's start with our Ayurvedic way that we can wrap our minds around the season. Speaking of transition, so Ayurveda sees transitions of times of vulnerability when we really need to lean into our routines. And I even want to forecast further out to our next major transition as we transition into spring. So we just set the clocks back, and there's something else that happens when we set the clocks forward. Both of these clock changing times are exhausting. And at this time of the season, we think, okay, well, it makes sense. It's dark out, I'm exhausted. I don't know why we think that makes sense, because we just got an extra hour's sleep. We should be kind of topped up. And then at the other end of the season, we lose an hour's sleep. So that kind of makes sense. We're like, okay, I lost an hour's sleep. But shouldn't we be revitalized because we're having all this extra daylight? So here's what I think is that the shock to our systems is what depletes us, and also how we wrap our minds around the time change. So let's see if we can embrace the good, noticing that it's brighter out first thing in the morning at this time of year, and eating so that we are not depleting. I think this is one of the other major reasons why at the next major transition, the other end of the season, we're so depleted, is because the winter months are really hard on our system. We don't have fresh produce and other things that kind of make us feel peppy. And then we've run down our kind of internal stores. So here's what I think. At this time of the season, we will get bang for our buck now, but we're also sort of putting our pennies in the jar for the springtime. Let's eat by warmth and nutrient density. So we know going into the winter, we're dealing with cold and we're also dealing with dry. So we're looking for things that give us fire and water. And in terms of Ayurveda, this is the Vata season that we're moving into, winter, which can be a little feeble. It sounds very insulting because we also have Vata types of people. I am a Vata type, and I do even feel this in myself. I have this kind of feeble side. You don't really, see it here while I'm like moving and being strong and stuff. But there is this sort of delicate flower quality that we all take on as we move through the Vata season. So let's think robust in our meals. What are we looking for? A lot of food that naturally people have gravitated towards in the winter months, just due to lack of cold storage, no refrigeration, no freezing, no canning, that kind of thing. What did people used to eat in the winter? Stuff that winters over well. Root vegetables, casseroles, these sort of one-pot meals, slow cooker meals, and anything warming. Garlic, onions, spices. We're thinking eating curries and chilies, cardamom, nutmeg, these things that warm us from the inside out. So as we move into winter, let's feed our bodies warming, nutritious foods and favoring nutrient-dense foods. This is the other one. If you are a fan of liver and onions, bring it out. Some of the most nutrient-dense foods are bivalves, so that's like our mussels and other seafood like that. Tinned fish with the bones in it. I know that's not everybody's favorite, but we're thinking robust, heavy, dense meals. Avoiding anything that has the qualities of winter. So like attracts like, but opposites heal. So often in the winter, we're feeling a little lazy. Maybe we're eating like rice cakes. That's also cold and light. Or pre-chopped vegetables or something like that. I know it's convenient, but let's see if we can favor warm and heavy. We don't want to like excessively weigh ourselves down, but if you're one of these people that likes the mood boost of ice cream after dinner, save it for the other end of the season, or just have a little bit. And then the rest of our meals we're favoring warmth. Let me give us our tea recipe. Speaking of warmth, for today, I'm gonna go cinnamon nutmeg. For you, you may like it to go get a bag of cinnamon blend tea. There are some cinnamon teas that usually have some other spices in them to give a more intricate flavor profile. Or if you're like me, you can just put a dash of cinnamon and a dash of nutmeg, pour boiling water over it, and then I like to add milk. Usually my favorite is oat milk. You pick your favorite. If we like it sweet, we can do a little bit of honey. And these ingredients are all warming. And actually, Ayurvedically, Vata types should not be drinking pure water. It's just not enough. So as much as we can throughout the winter, I know we can't just be like chugging tea all day, but keep that in the back of our minds. Can we instead be favoring hydrating foods instead of eating dry foods? And favoring tea or water with a little bit of lemon in it, maybe a crack of salt or something like that, just to give it a little bit of something. So again, we're not depleting throughout the winter. We're keeping our internal pantry stocked. And then of course, in all of those warming foods, we're throwing in, tinned tomatoes are a great one to add. There's lots of great research behind how good for us tinned tomatoes are. Peas, tinned or frozen, again, fantastic. We can throw them in. Beans, any mix of vegetables, squash, you know all that good stuff about winter eating. And if you don't, go and find a slow cooker recipe book. It'll set you up. It's so easy. You chop the food, you put it in the slow cooker, you forget about it for a while, you come back, it's delicious. Our essential oil blend for today. So you can get pre-made blends that are supposed to be like a pumpkin spice latte or something along those lines. You can make your own blend with, if you know what goes into pumpkin pie spice, it's often like our drink, cinnamon, nutmeg, things like that. What is this one? This one is spiced cider. Nutmeg, cinnamon, clove, ginger, so just like a pumpkin pie spice blend. And then a little bit of orange, so it's more like warming and sweet. You might even like vanilla if you make your own blend. Again, warming and sweet, and brings that warmth and deliciousness. So as much as we may want to reach for a slice of cake every day to kind of boost our mood, we can get that kind of sweetness and deliciousness out of our essential oils. There are all sorts of latte blends out there, and they're usually spicy, and then maybe they have like this citrus or vanilla, something like that. You really can't go wrong. If you smell it and you go, ooh, yummy, that is the right one for you. Keep it around to kind of bring this sweetness in to your day so we can favor nutritious, robust, heavy meals without weighing ourselves down with chocolate cake all day. You know, it's gonna give us that mood shift for 30 seconds, and then we're gonna be looking for the next slice. And this, we could just be looking for the next whiff. Okay, so for our practice today, we'll do a little bit of emotional regulation. Speaking of looking for a mood boost, we will do our Ho'oponopono meditation, and we're gonna take it to the land of rest. This is something else I think happens in the winter, is that we are sort of stuck between. We wanna get up and go because we're tired, we don't. We don't fully rest and we don't fully work. So my intention with this practice is to fully rest us. The first practice was more about fully working us, and now we will be fully resting us. So get cozy, got my socks on, get your tea, get comfy, whatever that looks like to you. We are going to transition into the rest zone. We'll start here, seated. Let's begin with a warming and decongesting practice. So before we get into our rest, let's transition from our busy lives into rest by getting some kind of fidgety movements out. We'll start by rubbing our hands. Again, a great one. We forget about this, but if you were to ask most people or a child, pretend you're cold. Pretend you're cold and standing at the bus stop in the winter. What are they gonna do? They're gonna go, oh, right? That's like acting 101. This is what we get. But we forget about it for ourselves. So we can really vigorously rub, get that fire going between our hands. Some people like to clap, so we go 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Last one, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we let that go. We're probably feeling tingling in our fingers. And let's start tapping on the top of the head. One of my favorites for decongestion. Let's let our bodies be our guide. So I notice some days I get more value out of tapping on the forehead. I can feel my sinuses sort of start to clear. And some days I get more value from the sides, some day from the top, sometimes on the cheekbones. So let's kind of feel around. We get this vibration going to rattle out our decongestion. You can get the same value with chanting, humming. I highly recommend singing in the shower or in the car when you're driving around, singing along with the radio. Very good to get vibration going through the throat and the head. And then we probably notice that our hands get a little bit tired, so we don't want to do this for too long, or sometimes mobility is an issue too. We can tap as high as we can reach, even on the jawbone or the bridge of the nose or the back of the skull. Sort of where neck meets head. Wherever it's comfortable to get that vibration going. And now our hands are warm and we've gotten some movement happening. Let's do palming of the eyes. So we'll take, as it sounds, our palms to our eyes. You won't be able to see me, so I'm not gonna do anything interesting or worth watching. We're just gonna sit here and apply gentle, gentle pressure to the eyes. And if we wonder how much pressure we should be using, you could also just take the weight of your hand and rest it on your leg. About that much pressure, really just the weight of the hand is good. And it's recommended to do this for about a minute. And this gentle pressure can often feel really soothing. If by chance it doesn't feel like a good practice for you, guess what? We can do anything else instead. We could sit with the eyes closed, we could sit with the eyes open, but no matter what we're doing, let's bring our awareness to the muscles of our eyes, and we're gonna relax the muscles around the eye. Releasing any tension in the eyebrow, the muscles that make us squint or that furrow the brow. Intentionally releasing them here. And we'll hold on to the sensation of relaxation in the eyes as we release our hands and we move through the rest of our movements. Let's do, I think, just one more to keep ourselves warm. One of my favorites, Kundalini circles. So we take our body in a circle. And then we might need to adjust our legs. You can do this sitting in a chair. Any of these practices, of course, could be adapted for a chair. We're just sitting. I find it more comfortable to sit on the floor, to be honest, so there's no ego about it, like, oh, I should be sitting on the floor, I should be sitting in a chair. We sit where it works best for us. And then, like we did with our tapping, let's feel it out. See which range of motion feels best. Do I feel good going in one direction or the other, or back and forth? And then if we notice a tight spot, let's move more slowly. So I feel super tight in this back range of motion, so maybe I'm gonna move slowly and go back and forth here, gently encouraging it to loosen up. And then after a few rounds of breath, I'm gonna move on to a different spot, loosen everything up, 360 degrees around. And because so many muscles attach into the pelvis and are engaging to help us balance here, we can start to really cook ourselves here. There's a practice where we do this for, what is it, like 5 to 8 minutes, and you sweat just from this movement. So feel free to do this as much as you like. If you notice you're in a cold room, especially if you're alone, I don't know what your other people in that room would think of this, but you could all do it together. Get circling, warm up, see if you start to sweat. All right, we'll come back through center and let's resettle, checking in, seeing how we're doing, adjusting as we need to. Alternate nostril breathing. So usually we take our Surfer Dude mudra. Speaking of transitions and routines, this one is like a go-to routine to anchor our day, 2 minutes every morning. If that doesn't work for you, 2 minutes wherever it makes sense in your day. So I, to be perfectly honest, do this one before I go to bed. I have a little 2-minute timer set on my watch and I set it. I don't actually set it anymore. I feel like I can go by feel. Now that it's a routine, I sit for 2 minutes on my bed and then I'm ready to get under the covers and go to sleep. Okay, let's do our 2-minute here. Keep an eye on the clock. And we'll block off one nostril at a time. If you've never done this before, just monkey see, monkey do. I assure you that the power of alternate nostril breathing is taking hold. Block one nostril, take a breath in. We're gonna switch sides, block the other nostril, breathe out. Stay here, breathe in. We're always switching to breathe out. Switch to breathe out. So it's out, in, switch. Out, in, switch. And guess what? If you get it backwards, it's still working. But I like to throw this one in here at this time of year because I think that our bodies kind of get entrained to know what's going on or something happens and it can be decongesting over time. So when I first started doing this, it had no impact. It was not decongesting. And now, as soon as I start teaching it, I just feel my sinuses clear up. And you could say, well, it must be because you're talking or teaching, moves things around. Something different happens when I do alternate nostril breathing compared to any other technique. So take that to mean whatever you like, but I highly encourage you 2 minutes a day to really anchor yourself. How are we doing? Okay, we're coming up to the 2-minute mark. Last inhale and exhale. And we'll release. Let's do some gentle massage. And just to make life easier for myself, I'm just gonna leave my microphone here because we're gonna do some self massage around neck and shoulders. To help us wind down, we do massage moving from our core outward. So let's start. We can do it like we are kind of washing our hair. From our forehead up around behind the back of the head, in behind the ears, either side of the neck, and then we release. All right, up around and back, kind of like a Britney Spears kind of move. Up and around and back. And then release. Let the weight of the world go from our shoulders. We can inhale as we come up and exhale as we come around down the back of the neck. And this one can be great for decongesting too, especially if we create a bit more drag in behind the ears, pulling down. You may also like to pull on the ears. Last one here. And then I like to do a bit of movement, shake the hands off. And let's do our collarbones. We'll go just under the collarbone and across. Now some people like to get in the underarm as well. Yogi's choice. Depends on range of motion. Maybe we feel we need a good tricep stretch. Some people go in the underarm and then under the collarbone and away. We could pull down the tricep as well. This one can be quite nice. If you practice a style of yoga where you do a lot of push-ups, usually the triceps need a lot of love. And if it's comfortable with the arm up here, we could also go down the underarm, down the side. And if you're thinking this would work really nice with some kind of massage oil, yeah, 100%. I tend to use whichever's on sale, almond or grapeseed. Apricot oil, actually, I really like too. You can use olive oil, you can use whatever you have kicking around the house. Last one here, and then let's take our massaging hand down and everyone can do a side stretch. If the arm isn't happy to come up and over, we can leave it down, but we are stretching the side of the torso. Top arm can be bent or straight. We'll take a breath in, noticing the expansion of our one underarm without collapsing on the other side. We'll come back through center, loosen up. And we have two sides, don't we? So, under the collarbone and across to begin. We can stay here the whole time. That same amount of weight that we have, our hands on our knees, is about how much we're pressing in. So, sorry, maybe I should have told us that on the first side. If you were really digging in, we can go super easy here. Some of us may like to get in the underarm. And then we have our option. If anyone likes to go tricep, underarm and across, we can. And I sort of think of this stuff as like asking a tour guide where to go in a given city. And some of them will say, oh, check out the nightlife, or check out the restaurants, check out the shopping. It's the same thing as we're exploring any of this stuff. We might like to just explore under the collarbone. We might like to explore sweeping down or the tricep, but they're all different options as we, metaphorically visit this city. Last one. And then we'll do our big stretch, and our big stretch may be very big or a little big, but we're getting length through the side of the body without collapsing the other side. So let's still be strong and smooth through both sides while we're here. We'll bring it back through center, and then whatever we need to do to let that go. And we will make our way to a seated supine position. And then let's reset once we're here. So we can come into a variation of constructive rest. We lie on our backs. We can take hands to belly. Although some people like to hold the edge of the mat as like a nice resting place or a landing place to feel that we're supported and connected. We can let our knees knock in towards one another. That might feel a bit more soothing. And we've done a whole bunch of movement of our hands and upper body. So if we're noticing our muscles are a little tired, let's see if we can imagine that they get heavier here and they can rest more fully into the mat. We'll keep moving, but remembering you can modify based on whatever you just noticed as we sensed our own well-being in this moment. Let's do some movements of our legs and then some stretches. So we're drawing knees to chest, holding behind the back of the legs. We can rock side to side. We can give each knee a circle. And I do want to throw in a little bit of lymphatic movement here. So any kind of pumping that we do with our arms or our legs can be really helpful. I don't know how well we can reach in behind our knees to massage the back of our knees. So I'll show us some pumping first that might be easier to reach. And then if we can hold the back of the knees, we can massage the back of the knees. So if we're holding the side of the mat or wherever else it's comfortable to let our hands land, let's do a variation of flowing waterfall, extending heels to the sky and then releasing back down. We could also be extending toes to the sky, stretching the shin, stretching the calves. And either option in the feet is good, but let's choose a mindful position for our feet instead of just mindlessly letting them flop. If we would like more of a muscular challenge to warm us up, we could be doing our alternating knees to chest. So I know I said I would be doing a true rest opportunity, but I don't want us to get too cold. So that's why I'm throwing this one in here. So take what you like, leave what you don't. And then we're all bringing knees to chest. And if we can reach the back of the knees, a gentle massage down the calves, the back of the knees, the back of the thighs, and like I said, as well as we can reach. I know that it's so much easier if we have long arms to get back there. So if we can't reach, we could just be bending and straightening still. But let's give it a few more if we can reach. And since we're here, we're coming into happy baby. So we can take our knees wide like we're doing a cannonball. We can use our hands like a kickstand on the outsides of the thighs as a gentle inner thigh opener. So the legs are supported, we're not working too hard. And if we'd like to go further in our happy baby and get more sensation, we can hold the outside of the ankles, the outside of the feet. But making sure that our feet are engaged like we were just doing with our flowing waterfall. Let's flex our feet here. And we can rock side to side. We were talking about how this season is dry, and I think any of these rocking movements, flowing, brings in this feeling of water. We're mobilizing, we're hydrating, and anytime that we're doing rocking, circling, bending and straightening, we are lubricating our joints. Let's go ahead and lower the feet down. And we've just been doing a lot of work closing the body. Let's lengthen and open the body, stretching the legs long. We can point our toes. It might feel nice to squeeze the legs towards one another, engaging our inner thighs. And then we can reach the arms in the opposite direction. Long stretch here. We're walking our feet back in. Coming into a supported twist. So if we have a block, we can use it underneath our leg to catch us. Otherwise, we'll use our own body to catch ourselves. Let's take our right ankle over our left thigh so that as we come into our twist, Our right foot is coming towards the floor, and this is where we can be using our block to catch ourselves. So we're not going quite so deep. It's a smaller range of motion, more gentle, more subtle. So if we do have these like stiff winter joints or stiff dry winter muscles, this will stop us from going so far that we feel this kind of tension. And if we feel great going down further, we can. Or if we want to catch ourselves with our own hand, then that's okay too. And let's pause, enjoying our gentle twist, however it feels good. If it feels good to increase our sense of relaxation, we're stretching our exhale out to be longer than our inhale. So we can inhale for 4 and exhale for 8. And adjust the numbers however it makes sense for you. Unwinding and moving on to the other side. We may need to move more slowly than we moved through those warm summer months when we were limber and all stretched out. That's okay. We'll just notice and work with what we have. As we're ready, we can twist. Using our block, our hand. Sometimes we can take a fist underneath our foot, and that can be just enough to catch us. Although if you do this one a lot, you may be moving until the foot lands, and then we're feeling comfortable. And if you do have a block, and you don't need it, and you're kind of wondering what other value you could get out of it here, you could go behind the head. Feel more comfortable that way. Or behind the back to hold us in our twist. Let's see how our breath is doing. Stretching out our exhale. And as we're ready to do so, moving back into our relaxation pose. And we may like instructive rest. There may be some final stretch you would like to do. And then when we're ready, coming in to stillness. So I will sit up to give us a guided meditation, but you can stay exactly where you are, as you are, however you are. Feel free to bundle up, drink some more hot tea to stay warm, and we will do a warm-hearted meditation. I've chosen Ho'oponopono meditation because I think it's a great one to work with difficult emotions, especially as we head into winter and we may be more socially isolated, which opens the door to falling into unhelpful thought patterns. And it can be a great way to rewire more helpful thought patterns and create some space between us and our difficult emotions. So I actually like to start this practice by turning towards ourselves. Maybe holding in our mind's eye an image of yourself as a child. Often we do it to ourselves as kids because there's more of this feeling of innocence and compassion comes to us more naturally. If that image is not helpful for you, you can picture yourself as you are. Or my personal favorite, picture yourself as your beloved pet sees you. Could be a childhood pet who loved you unconditionally, could be your current cat, dog, parakeet, whatever you have. Let's find a way to turn towards ourselves with loving eyes. And saying to ourselves these 4 phrases that create our Ho'oponopono meditation. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. Saying I'm sorry to ourselves for all the times that things didn't go the way we wish they had. Asking ourselves, please forgive me. Extending warmth to ourselves, I love you. And for all of our life experiences and this practice here today, saying to ourselves, thank you. Moving our minds on to another person, or again, it may be helpful to choose a pet. It's often easier to turn towards something that we love so easily as a first step with less resistance. So thinking of someone who it's easy for us to have this emotional connection with as we offer these 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you. Knowing that in our own mind's eye, these words will be received with grace and ease. So we can picture Fido or whoever it is accepting our words. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Letting these words land and imagining our hearts warming and opening here. We may picture our hearts as the lotus opening to greet the sun, or another image that's a good fit for you. Let's move on to someone else who you feel comfortable working with the feeling, the idea of this person. We offer the same 4 phrases to this person. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Keeping in mind, we have no expectations for how this practice should go, how it should feel, how it should work. This may be quite a difficult practice for you. We can pause at any time. It may feel really nice. We can come back to it at any time. For now, let's try one more person who feels like a good fit for you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Turning our attention back to our heart space, sensing the beating of our own hearts, movement of our breath. Sending compassion, love, and thanks to ourselves. Feel free to stay in this space for as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining me here today. From my light to yours, namaste.